There we are, back again, once again, and Grant van Boekhoven. Oh, I hope I got that right. Say I got it right.
No, you didn't get
Van
it right.
Boekhoven.
Van Boekhoven.
Van Boekhoven. You see, Van Boekhoven.
That's why everybody knows me as Grant. They can't get their tongue around the surname.
Grant van Boekhoven.
There we go.
Thank you. That is what? What you German? It's not. Is it German?
It's Dutch.
Is it Dutch? Dutch. Grant van Boekhoven. Van Boekhoven meaning something will be over somewhere. Did you go into your
No,
background
the entomology is actually from the buck farm.
From the buck farm.
So, yeah, my ancestors were farmers.
Oh. Well, when my ancestors arrived in the Cape, they were de Graaf. And my dad's dad had enough of the de Graafs, and he made it de Greef. So I am Darryl de Greef. But because of a certain presenter back in the 80s couldn't say out my surname, I took my second name and just known as Darryl Grant from that point onwards. Nothing wrong with my surname. But my dad's dad decided that's enough. He changed the surname. Just like that. Or he moved on to another surname.
There's a lot of that actually happens. And when you look at the entomology and you look at the names in South Africa, a lot of changes came about. So
people aren't necessarily who they say they are.
That's always the case.
Sometimes when you marry, you really find out the true nature of the beast, as it were. All right. Today, what are we specifically looking at?
Well, we're looking at the Movember movement.
I haven't.
And
I couldn't this time around. I was like a rash last year. I decided, I found out I can't, no.
So you pieballed.
I pieballed. So we're looking at that, Movember.
No, we're looking at the Movember Foundation. Currently, DBC Group and De Berenclass and Attorneys specifically are running a promotion where if people go onto our website, click on the link, load up a photograph. It doesn't even have to be of you and your mo. Go on, post a picture of your friend's moustache or beard and that kind of thing, and share it with all your friends.
Yeah.
Then you go into a draw to win a 1,000 Rand turn and tender voucher at the end of this month. For every picture that's loaded onto the site, we're going to be donating R1 to the Men Foundation in aid of the Movember movement.
I'm there in spirit with you. Of course, yours is cultivated right through the year. When you first grew it, wasn't it like insanely itchy?
You get to a point where you're saying,
I can't get beyond that point.
I'm shaving this now.
That's the point I reach. I cannot
deal with this.
Absolutely.
And you just got to push through.
And that is the whole reason why I think is to Movember. Yes, it's all very good and well, but they get, as you say, that point, and I got that point, and off.
I go through phases. I tend to get to around 8 to 10 months, and then it's over.
Yeah.
Shave it all off, and then 2 weeks in, you realize this routine's a little bit hectic again. Let's start growing it again.
No. Yeah, I'll keep that routine any day. But I do understand why it's there. It looks easy to grow, ladies, but let me tell you, the point arrives, and that's just you want to just kill your top lip and your face at the same time. Oh, and there we have it. All right, what else then?
So definitely just with regard to the Movember movement, if the people out there don't know already, it's in aid of prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and it's raising awareness with regard to cancer survivors, and specifically men.
Yeah.
Men out there tend to take it for granted. I'm not as much at risk, that kind of thing. But prevalence of this type of cancer is rife out there. And again, the Men Foundation is now accepting donations, and we've essentially jumped on the bandwagon at DBC, doing our part for the community and
Fantastic. Well done.
Let's raise awareness pertaining to this specifically. And again, go onto our site, post a photograph of a friend, yourself, with a moustache or a beard, and go into the draw to win a 1,000 Rand voucher for turn and tender, and also do your part by with regard to every picture that is loaded, we're going to donate R1 towards the foundation.
Fantastic. Good. This is not the last time we're seeing you, though, is it?
No,
For
no,
this
no.
year, you here right through?
I'm basically available throughout December, so I'm running straight through. The office is going to be closed over the December period, over the holiday period. But again, I'm available, and if the community needs somebody to assist,
I believe
they
you're
can
gonna
contact me.
this one you're gonna have to get him on speed dial now, right? Fill in the number on speed dial just in case you need him. He's gonna be there. So you're not going away. You're not taking.
No, I don't usually take leave during the December period.
Okay.
It does get a bit crazy, specifically with regard to the roadblocks, arrests for DUI, that kind of thing.
DUI?
Yeah, driving under the influence.
Oh, okay.
So I'm permanently available because my practice, it gets more hectic during this period.
Yeah.
So it tends to slow down here in February, March, and that's usually when I
Just
take leave.
on that, new legislation coming through. What's this whole story about drinking and driving now, where they want to, keep you in jail for around a week before they let you go? It's still in its infancy, but it is there. It's just been on the news. It's been very prevalent.
I think what they're trying to do is they're just trying to
Scare
create a
tactics?
situation where they're proving a point.
Okay.
And those are my concerns. The Criminal Procedure Act doesn't allow for that unless you don't have a fixed address, that kind of thing, where they actually have to ask for a postponement to ascertain certain information.
So this is not law yet.
This is not law yet.
So if
And
you
I
are
think-
in a roadblock and that is said, well, you're going there for a week now, you should not
I
believe.
think you should just get hold of your attorney and
Immediately.
get us out there so that we can assist. The biggest concerns over there are if they detain you for a week without bringing you before court, they will do the same and infringe your rights in terms of the Constitution. You are entitled to be brought before a court within 48 hours of your arrest, and just go and look at the time periods as prescribed by the Act, because if it is over a holiday period, then the time periods are extended because of the fact that it's court days that they're counting.
When a file gets lost and you were in a situation where you were waiting trial, but somehow your particulars get lost, the case gets lost, and you're caught in a roadblock again for drinking and driving, is there a main record there when they say your papers are lost completely and it's gone? Is there any record left of you? Just a question posed.
Well, the big thing over there is when you
I'm
have
sorry,
to...
the banging we're hearing right now, they're busy working on the outside of the building. Anyway, yes, carry on.
The biggest issue for me over there is when you looking at a docket, most of the time now, as soon as the docket is opened, they actually scan everything in. So there's a digital record. So even if the physical docket gets lost, there will be a digital record of the same. But now let's say, for example, you've already attended court, they've withdrawn because they need blood results and the thing goes away. Now you're sitting in limbo and you're waiting. You never know when that docket's going to come back. It depends on how long the lab takes. I had an issue with regard to a matter where it was a reckless and negligent driving case. And the client came back to me 17 years after the incident and
17 years.
I have been brought before the court. I need your assistance. And we dealt with that matter late last year. And the incident occurred in 1999.
Wow.
The roads where the incident had occurred no longer exist. So it makes it very, very difficult for you as the attorney coming onto the scene now and having a look and
But
seeing
why
where this...
on earth would something be regurgitated from 1999?
The biggest issue over there was the inability of the investigating officer at the time. And it's very, very sad to say, but the accused was still staying at the same address that he gave up on the day of the incident. And the matter had been removed from the roll because there was still investigation pending. It came back 2 years after that in 2002, because this was late in November, December 1999. 2002, it came back. The same thing occurred. And then the investigating officer made a statement that said, listen, we can't trace this guy anymore.
Oh, my.
And then they issued what they call a J50, which is a bench warrant for this person's arrest. And that specific investigating officer had passed away. So then it got chucked from person to person to person to person down the line, up until it got to somebody that said, let me go and have a look at this address that was first given up. And they found the accused there.
Well, he's been living in plain sight, for goodness sake. Not running away. I'm here.
But again, 17 years down the line, so yes, things go missing, but it's not to say that
they've gone missing.
They've gone
forever.
away.
So the case could come up again. I hope that answers your question, sir. Thank you for your thank you for your question. So you're not out of the box yet. You're not out of the woods yet. As it were.
The only way you can be certain is if you get what they call a nolli prosecute certificate to say we are stopping prosecution, essentially. Well, not stopping prosecution. They're declining to prosecute the state. Okay. So they've objectively looked at the facts on the docket and they've said, our chances of success here are minimal. We're not going to prosecute this case. All right. Alternatively, you get acquitted on the case itself.
All right.
So if it's run to court.
Cool. Okay. Well, there it is then. Thank you. Oh, you want to round off about what else you're involved in? Anything else?
No, I'm involved in a lot at this point. I'd keep us busy for a week.
Well, let's start. So we started somewhere. We might as well continue with this. But thank you so much once again. And just a word from the wise to the people out there who are going to be drinking and driving. The thing is, don't.
Don't. Definitely.
First and foremost, just don't. Leave it there.
If you're going to, Uber, taxi, dedicated driver, make sure that they're not drinking either.
All right. Because the last thing you want is to be caught, let's say, I don't know, Christmas. Well, this time it doesn't fall over a weekend, but let's say you don't want to land up 4 days.
On the 23rd.
On the 23rd.
You get brought before the court on the 27th because...
23, 24, 25, 26, not pleasant at all. Not pleasant at all. Maybe we could look at what happens if you are in that scenario. Change of clothes. Will you be in a mass prison cell all the time, or are you deferred? We can have a look at that, because that's something we don't hear about. How that
happens
operates
behind the scenes. Oh. So definitely, let's look at
that.
We can touch on
base at least just with that, and just find out. So you're in a cell with 100,000 other people, or however many, for a couple of days, ablutions and that kind. What happens?
Well, when looking at it, you essentially have to say, okay, what is the time period? How many people are being arrested? Because the police don't know how many people they're going to arrest. Mm. And they also don't choose the said person that they're going to be arresting over that period. So you could be in the cells with somebody that's committed the offense of drunken driving, but you could also be in the cells with somebody that's just committed a business robbery or rape, that kind of thing. Mm. And these are things that you have to look at. But behind the scenes, definitely, I'll be able to, possibly on the next occasion, tell us more about what happens behind the scenes in the cells.
That might send you into sobriety for the entire silly, happy season.
Festive season.
You never know. All right. Well, thank you so much.
No, thank
Grant.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.